Okay, hello everyone. Good day. My topic is all about myth and legend. Okay, what is myth? A myth is a story what may or may not be true. The definition of the word myth is still subject to debate. Myth may be very old or new, for example, urban myths. Myth is expressive of the total vision of the human situation, human destiny, human inspiration, and apprehensions. We can say that it is a tradition which we inherit from our forefathers. Myth consider both the meaning bad and good at a time. A myth is a commonly held but false belief, misconception, a traditional story specifically about the story of people, often explaining a phenomenon that usually has supernatural beings or events. According to E. Claude, Myths and Dreams, 1885, product of a man's emotion and imagination acted upon by his surroundings. So it means that myths is all about the emotion of people or the imaginations, and it's all about his or her surroundings. Myths often have extraordinary character or stories that seem impossible in the real world. But this fits and treats only seem possible because it explains some of the growth and development of civilization. Myths are passed down stories or events within time and return over periods of time. Myths tend to change slightly and also change with certain culture. Myths tend to be expressed through rituals or completely through faith. One of the most well-known kinds of myths is creation myth. So is creation myths is all about how the world began or paunsa nabuo ang kalibutan, and often where people fit into the scheme. Okay, next. The word mythology is used to refer to stories that, while they may or may not be strictly factual, reveal fundamental truths and insight about human nature, often through the use of archetypes. Also, the stories discuss express the viewpoints and beliefs of the country, time period, culture, and or religion which give birth to them. One can speak of the mythic elements within these faiths without speaking to the veracity of the faith's tenets or claims about its history. So, although myths are often considered to be accounts of events that have not happened, many historians consider that myths can be also account of actual events that have become highly imbued with symbolic meaning or that have been transformed, shifted in time or place, or even reversed. One way of conceptualizing this process is to view myths as lying at the far ends of continuum, ranging from dispassionate account to legendary occurrence to mythical status. And myth is a fictitious story or half-truth. Myth is not um, true, or this is not legit. It's only the beliefs of people, and many culture have their own myths. The stories may be widely different, but the characteristics are similar. Myths are timeless stories that convey universal truths about the human experience. They have the power to inspire, educate, and transform individuals and societies. So, now we can explore an enduring appeal of literary masterpieces that drew on mythic themes. And the hero's journey. Hero's journey is a part of myth. is a common mythic narrative that involves a protagonist and or the antagonist who embarks on a transformative quest. This, this archetype can be found in many literary masterpieces including Homer's Odyssey, The Lord of the Rings, and Rowling Harry Potter series. And the femme fatale. The femme fatale is a seductive and dangerous woman who lures men to their doom. This archetype can be found in many literary masterpieces, including Homer's The Iliad, Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter, and Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. Okay, the quest of immortality. The quest for immortality is a common mythic theme that involves characters seeking eternal life or fame. This theme can be found in many literary masterpieces, including Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, and Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude. And I think this is not the author of the Egypt literature, but this is but this names is still the writer of the literary one the best literary pieces in the world. Okay, the legacy of math continue. It's even until now in 21st century, math continue and influence and inspire contemporary literature, even film and popular culture. It's all about exploring the enduring power of mythic themes, and we can get because of this influence, we have a deeper understanding, or we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. And now let's proceed to conclusion. Literary masterpieces that draw on mythic themes and archetypes have the power to captivate and transform readers. By examining these enduring stories, we can gain insight into the human experience in our place in the world. Okay, now let's proceed legends. A legend is a narrative that is partly true and partly imaginary about particular person, event, place, or natural feature. I know that you know already about legend, even the myth. And the origin of legends came from the Latin word legenda, which means for things to read. The term was used to designate the life story of saint and was also applied portions of scriptures and to be read by the divine service. And what are the difference between myths and legends? Okay, number one, the myth is an interpretation of nature, while legend is the idealization of history. And I think this is a very understandable of the difference between myth and legend. And myth are stories in which good goddesses and other divinities play part, while the legend are a story of wonder or miracles, but not only in god and goddesses, but about the animals and the other things. And myths can be everywhere in one form of another. And the legend is usually built into one episode on a single act of the hero. Okay, the example of legend is the Flying Dutchman is the legend of a ghost ship. According to the legend, the Flying Dutchman is cursed to never dock at a port, being doomed to sail in the ocean forever. It's likely that the legend has originated from the nautical folklore of the 17th century. The oldest surviving version of this legend that dates back to the late 18th century. During the 19th and 20th centuries, there were reports of sighting the ship, and according to the lore, seeing the Flying Dutchman is an omen of doom. I think this is and I think this is the last part of my report, and I hope you learned something. If and I know that my topic is understandable for is already understandable because legend and myths is already tackled in our past previous subject or previous lesson. Thank you and